You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with JohnAlex and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a product of Sack of Sin Entertainment. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all other podcast locations. Or check us out at sackofsin.com or heypalwhatsnew.com. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. JohnAlex and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned.
B. Fraser in a fat suit jerking off. You are one deaf son of a bitch.
What?
Wang! Hey!
Speak up, Sonny. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody. It's hey, pal, what's new?
Put on your slippers and pull up your zippers. It's time for Hey Pal, What's New?
I was in the middle of doing my old man voice, which kind of sounds like Bender from Futurama. I'm going to get my own blackjack and hookers.
Hey, boy. Yeah, it's Hey Pal, What's New? And I'm Greg, and this is JohnAlex over here. Oh, my God. The familial commitments have been way too much these past.
Oh, boy.
Let me tell you. Anyway, we're going in hot, dude. We're going in hot today. Little Hey Pal, What's New? Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm Greg. That's JohnAlex over there. So, anyway, you know who we are. I did? I don't know. I'm so tired, dude.
Oh.
I'm so tired.
That's okay. I'll edit this in post.
That's fine. No, man, it's good. Things are good. It's Friday night at the GBR studios, and yeah, I've had a week and a half, dude. Let me tell you. The reason you probably missed us all, which I'm sure you all sat there on your iPhones with bated breath, waiting for our episode to air. Guess what? We took off for MLK. Fight the power, motherfucker. No, actually, that Friday I had to. Well, I'm going to start right into my Hey Pal, What's New, if you don't mind. Elvis was a hero to most, but he don't mean shit to me. He's flat out racist and motherfucker him in, John Wayne.
That's right.
Something like
Wow.
that. Yeah, I know my PE. The past week, I'm just going right into mine just so I can get it out of the way. We missed Friday because I had to take my daughter and her friends to go see a band in Philly. So we drove 3 hours.
What band?
To Philly. I couldn't even tell you. It was a boy band called Why Don't We? They used to be a boy band. Now this guy went solo. To give full credit for this guy, he's very talented.
Okay.
He plays all the instruments. He's really,
Wait.
I just don't know his music. But her and her gaggle of friends, we all piled in the car. We took a road trip to Philly. And 3 hours there, about 3 hours back, all in one day, for like a concert. I dropped them off at like 6.
Oh, you didn't go into the concert?
No, I wasn't going into that concert. But it was good.
Cheesesteaks. Did you get a cheesesteak?
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. Right around the corner from the it wasn't even it was her first club show. Like she never it was like kind of when we took Manny to Descendants, right? Like she's never been in a club, but like her and her friends, and they all piled in. It was a teenage crowd. It was funny because I'll share the text, but right around the corner from the club, I dropped them off. There's a freaking casino.
Oh God.
I was like, there you go. Knocked down, had some Geno steaks. Ooh. There was some band playing. There was some cover band. The bass player was amazing. I dumped $1.50 in the freaking slots, and then I was like, I got to take a nap, so I took a nap in the car.
Yeah.
And then 9:30, she's like, concert's done. I'm like, it's done already?
You took a nap in a car as opposed to passing out in the car.
Exactly, my friend. No more of that stuff. Yeah, it was, man, after that, then it was just running around. I am just exhausted. But, but I'm here. I'm queer. I will not disappear.
Dumpy Entertainment wants a cheesesteak.
Oh, Dopey Entertainment.
Dopey Entertainment.
Oh, the Dopester. Geno's cheesesteaks, tonic waters, dumping a bunch of money in the slots, and then drove home. It was scary.
Dumping a bunch of money in the sluts?
Yeah, no sluts.
That's
there.
me.
It was a little.
I'm a slut.
It was a little like the minute I walked in, some homeless person hit me up for money. I was like,
one of those. It's like going down to Yonkers to the casino.
Oh, it was exactly like Yonkers.
All right.
It was just she's like, I need to get
Dude,
some money for
am I wrong? Not to go too far off track, but is the casino up in Catskill? They're opening like a fucking casino in like the Middletown Mall or some shit like that?
In Newburgh, yeah.
In Newburgh Mall.
It's
in the mall, a casino.
Yes, and the one up in the Catskills is really nice.
Is it? I gotta get up there.
It's clean.
Do they have bingo?
I don't think so.
Then I'm not going.
So what do you have in store for the topics in movies?
Ooh, I watched some movies. I got some screeners from the SAG Entertainment people.
Oh, yeah. We got a ton of movies, a ton of music, actually, and a
shit ton of fucking news.
Yeah, so why don't we... well, first, I don't want to be rude, pal. What's new with you?
Nothing.
Wow, okay.
No, not much. It's the same old shit with me.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing super crazy or important.
Nothing crazy. You don't have to move.
Nope.
You don't have to.
I got my wife's kiln. It finally came.
Oh,
I set it up. We just need the electric hooked up. I'm waiting for my guy.
Please tell me you're gonna reenact the ghost thing.
That's when her pottery wheel comes.
Oh,
she'll be down
that's
there.
right. The kiln. Yeah, it's not the.
You know what I got to get for that though?
What's that?
I got to get me a Jar Jar Binks mask. Oh, you want the Gungan wiener?
Oh, Misa want you.
Misa wants you so bad. Misa wants you. The Gungan wiener.
Oh, excuse me.
That's right. Nah, nothing with me.
All right. Well, when you do get that pottery wheel, I expect a full reenactment of Ghost.
Hell yeah! And I'll set up a GoPro and record it too.
Please, I would freaking.
And I will. I gotta find me a fucking Jar Jar Binks mask just for it.
And then he bent me over, showed me Gungan wiener.
That's right. You want the Gungan?
Which,
wiener.
by the way, if you don't know what we're talking about, go on our freaking YouTube page and watch our animation. We haven't done an animation.
I know. We gotta pick a bit out of one of the past episodes that I can animate.
Yeah, we haven't really gone on too much of a rant as far as the what's new stuff, but we will.
No.
We will definitely. So, yes. Well, good to hear that. There's ghosts
Status
in your
quo.
house, and things. I wish my life was status quo. I really do. See, I lost my beard and my hair.
I might lose mine soon too. I'm getting tired of it.
Dude, when you get to a point where you're so. First of all, Manal looked at me, and I had these beads on because I was cleaning my daughter's room, and I found these like healing beads. And I was like, oh, I'll just put them on. Like, I do that sometimes if I'm cleaning. I just put stuff on. And we're driving. We went out to dinner. And she's looking at me. And my hair is, like, longer than yours. It's freaking – my beard, my goatee was like this. And I had the beads on. She's like, you look like a fucking homeless hippie. I was like, yeah.
You look like Captain Lou Albano.
I did, man. I was trying to put a rubber band in there. But – when you get so stressed out and you're just like you need to do something, you don't want to cut, you don't want to slam your dick in a door. I did this. Yeah, when you don't have the alcohol and the drugs, you got to do other things. So definitely. So cool. Yeah. So enough about that noise about self-harm, which please don't do that. It's stupid. Do we have any lighter stuff like news?
There's a lot of news. Jar Jar mask wearing. Jar Jar
John, you got
mask
any news?
wearing twerk content, you say?
We're excited. We have people talking to us on a podcast.
Yeah, it's Jar Jar doing his best ghost impersonation.
Exactly. Check it out. We'll send you the link. But anyway, how's the news going there, buddy?
So we'll do rapid fire news since we got a lot to get to. I guess we say goodbye to David Crosby. I'm gonna file that under.
Can I help you, sir? Yes, what is this? Huh? This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
I thought you were dead.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know he was still alive.
Yeah, it. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where it's just like, really? Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. Deja Vu, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, one of my top 5, maybe top 10. Great album. I mean, Neil Young has a lot to do with it. He's kind of like the Joe Walsh of the Eagles. He made them cool. But yeah, kind of sad. Also, the sperm donor of Melissa Etheridge's kids.
Yes, by sperm donor, not didn't have sex with her.
No, shot it in a cup.
That's
and
right.
Apparently handed it over. Which if you're looking for a parent of your child,
I definitely I was gonna say I want a former junkie. Wait, my kids have a former junkie. Is it? Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I said, well, you got the musical talent, but you also got the huge opiate dependency.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, dude, David Crosby's dead. And I'm like, you know the first thing that came into my head? Well, we chewed on David Crosby, but we spit him out.
All the punks are gonna scream,
yippee! Because it's the thing that only eats hippies. That's the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah.
And a spit on David. Oh, freaking Dead Milkmen. Jesus.
God damn it. I love those guys.
They're still around, too.
Yeah, it's just...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they
It's
put
not the
anything out.
same.
But, that freaking Greatest Hits album they put out is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, R.I.P. to David Crosby.
File this one under what the fuck.
Now, Nash and Young are going... Crosby, Stills, Nash, they're like, are they still around? I guess. I don't know. Look it up, kids.
Filing this under the what the fuck. Jared Leto is gonna be Morbin time. Jared Leto is cast as the lead in the new Tron movie. I know my typing in our list was like a little off. They're making a Tron 3. Like I needed that because I was somewhat disappointed by Tron 2.
I didn't see Tron 2.
I did. I was kind of disappointed, but maybe it's the nostalgia of the original Tron. But why do I need a fucking Tron 3? And Jared Leto, God damn it. Just go back to 30 Seconds to Mars, all right?
Yeah.
And call it a day.
Even that. It's like, if you've ever watched the...
They had one hit, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good band. I like his music better than his acting on a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I mean, Dallas Buyers Club, he was good. They did put out a documentary on... They got... 30 Seconds to Mars got screwed.
Oh, yeah.
Screwed. And it was actually interesting because... They broke down the whole, how, everybody talks about like TLC and stuff like, you made $30 million. How are you broke? Well, this is how we got broke, and the record company fucked them over.
Well, again, if you listen to, I guess it was on Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm. Sally Field.
No. The singer, the freaking hippy dippy kind of granola eating. Oh my God, she's got like the one name.
Jewel
was on Joe Rogan.
Snaggletooth.
Yeah, Jewel was on Joe. I think it was Jewel was on Joe Rogan, and like she was talking about how like her first album, the only reason she made a shit ton of money was because she took no money up front.
That's the way.
And that's how they fuck you.
That's how you're supposed to do it because it's very tempting to take that advance. Like I hear these stories. I don't know if this is the music part, but like I hear these stories about bands that like took like, back then they were throwing money. It's like we talked about that Descendants documentary where. They one of the All albums, they were like, it was like the early 90s where record companies were just giving out record contracts for and they took the money and that's what built the studio for the blasting room. But yeah, it's like that's the smart thing if you're in the know of the music business, not like I am, but I kind of am. But like, yeah, you take a low, we did it on our record where it's like, we don't want a big advance. We'll record the album for $5,000.
Right.
But we want a bigger percentage of the sales.
Well,
so if it sells, you're not making pennies on the dollar.
And what a lot of people don't realize too is like these record companies make it seem like they're doing you a favor. And it's like, we're going to give you $1 million and we're going to put you on tour. We're going to do this and you don't have to pay anything. But all the money to pay for that is coming out of the earnings you should have gotten.
Oh yeah, it ain't free. Like I remember, even though we took a small percentage and took more of the points, we only sold a couple thousand records. But they gave us like, okay, here's the money for your record. Oh, and you're going to make a video. We'll pay for that. We're going to pay for that. Next thing you know, it's like, okay, we spent, it's kind of like movies where it's like, they'll say, oh, we spent $5,000 to record it. But you spend another $5,000 or $10,000 on marketing.
Yep.
And so now you're up to $15,000 and the points on your record, you made about $1,000. Yeah. So you ain't going to see shit,
nope.
So, take that into mind now. People just put it out themselves. Fuck it. We'll get into the music portion later, but yeah.
A little quickie dicky on this one. David Ayer says that the Suicide Squad cut was vastly better. His was, can we say Ayer cut? I mean, are we going to get the original cut of that? Probably not.
No, I mean, I've heard that before that they said, oh, the director's cut is so much better, blah, blah, blah. We might see it down the line, but I think with James Gunn's Suicide Squad, it kind of... The Suicide Squad kind of erased that original one.
So I'd still be interested. again in some DC news.
Ooh.
Mark, go ahead and do that again.
Ooh.
Oh, is that you, Batman? Mark Hamill has said that after the passing of Kevin Conroy, he will no longer be doing the Joker. And that is because their Joker Batman was a true partnership.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem right. He can't do it without Kevin, which I get.
It makes sense. I don't blame him on that. I think that whole animated Batman series is... They were talking about doing another one.
And then they had it in production, and then we're like, nah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves the now with Kevin Conroy gone, I could see it not happening. I never really, to be honest, got into the Batman animated series. There are some good ones.
I got into that Batman animated series because I used to come home when we lived in Cold Spring and just watch it after work.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like I said, we had talked on previous episodes about my hang up with animation.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, what's this fucking cartoon shit?
Here's another one that I'm like, this is, are you trying? I think this is a late to the nostalgia train.
Okay.
This next one, that Eddie Murphy is coming back for Beverly Hills Cop 4.
All right.
Who gives a fuck? I mean, I didn't put it down on our news, but also Eddie Murphy came out and said he wants nothing to do with the Haunted Mansion reboot because he doesn't want the image of his Haunted Mansion to taint the new one because his wasn't that good, he says.
Oh, no, it was not good at all.
So, whatever.
But I'm glad to see Eddie Murphy's acting again, though. He did that Dolomite movie. That was freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. D&D news.
Oh, it's D&D.
Now, fighting with the legends of yore. It's D&D. Never kissed a lady before. I don't know how much you know the backstory of what's going on with Dungeons and Dragons and the Wizards of the Coast and their online the original gaming licensor of it.
Yes, I do. Actually, a little
so
bit.
For those people who don't know, here's the quick and dirty, break it down simple. The license that Wizards of the Coast own the copyright to D&D. Mm-hmm. And they have an open open gaming license where you can take the campaigns from D&D that are the official copyrighted campaigns, change them, alter them, do stuff, and then republish them so other people can use them.
Yeah.
And they were allowing people to do that and sell them.
That was the big thing, yeah.
And then they were like, no, you can't do that. We want some of it. You can do that until you make this much, and then we want a cut of the money. Which
the cut of the money is actually really substantial. It's not like... If you made $100, we're taking 50. It's like the number, if I'm not mistaken, was like 750,000.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make over that, we kind of want a cut of that. Which, first of all,
who's making $750,000 selling like custom altered campaigns?
Exactly. It's kind of like I compare it a lot to like the fan fiction films,
right?
Where there was that one with Vader. And there's a couple of the Han Solo one that that guy did where they were really really good. But they can't monetize it because it's not their property. But in the past,
Wizards of the Coast let you.
Yeah, but in the past, like before it was bought by Disney, Lucasfilm encouraged that shit.
Yeah,
you could make your own fan fictions, put it online if you need to monetize it. But it's a different time now.
So in reaction to that, I mean, and I know they backstepped on that and were like, never mind, forget it, and then they went back on that, and now they're asking for the money again. So in retaliation. The fans, D&D fans, D&D gamers are boycotting the D&D movie. I mean, you tell people like hit him in the pocketbook.
Yeah, that's true. I look, I'm a big component of that too, where people complain. It was funny. Proponent. Purpose. Porpoise. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. No, I'm a big believer in.
There you go.
We had talked. I had just posted something recently on the Facebook page about this whole Pantera thing.
Yeah.
Which I was going to bring up in the news, and Vern, good old Vern from Breach the Asylum, was just like, I don't care. I just want to hear the music, and I'm not going to let people. I was like, look, man, good on you if you like it. Me personally, if I don't want to see this, I won't support it.
Yeah.
But people complain about Pantera, and even Guns N' Roses when it was just Axl, and I was like. Look, he's still selling out stadiums.
Yeah.
If you don't want him to do it, don't go.
Don't buy the tickets and they'll cancel the shows.
Yeah. They don't make any money. They won't do it. So as long as people are doing it, people complain all the time. And like I said, I keep saying we'll get back into the music one, but there's a new single that came out, and there's that whole thing with both Pantera and Metallica, where people were bitching about the thing. Look, if you don't
like it, don't.
If you don't support it, it'll go away.
Yep.
That's as simple as that. I'm off my freaking.
Okay, old man shouting at the clouds. Last piece of news, and I don't know how much I give a shit about this, but I felt I had to mention it. We're already guaranteed a Megan sequel, Megan 2.0, in 2025. Have you seen the Megan movie?
I have not seen it.
Me neither.
But I heard that it's a typical, and I applaud Blumhouse for doing this, because they take movies and they do a small budget and they put out good quality stuff. And like from what I heard, that Megan movie cost $12 million. The first week, it's up to $45 million.
Win-win chicken.
Yeah, so of course you're gonna get a sequel. I mean, I've seen the description of it, and I'm like, all right, well, it's a Child's Play kind of thing, but not as. And I heard that also with Megan that, same thing with the Era cut, right? They're like, it's PG-13. The Megan that's out in the theaters, they're like, oh, we did an R version that was way more gory or more. I'm like, maybe I'll wait for that. I'll wait for it to come out. I'm sure they're gonna put that out and do that and. I'm all in for the Beverly Hills Cop 4. All right. Yeah.
Right there, Axel Foley.
Bernie. Yeah, we were just talking about you. Listen, you like your Pantera with Zach and Charlie? By all means, go for it. It's not Pantera.
It's not my Pantera.
Enjoy
it's like,
it.
look, I love
Enjoy
the Dead
it.
Kennedys, but without Jello Biafra, I don't care about them.
Yeah. Call it something else. Call it freaking 5 Minutes Alone, or call it Far Beyond Driven.
Well,
And
yeah. Well, at least
celebrating the music.
At least
don't call it Pantera.
At least when Milo left the Descendants, they kept kind of making Descendants music, but called it All. You relate it to the original Descendants stuff because of All.
Yeah.
And the album All and all that other stuff. So there's a connection, but they're like, we're not the Descendants because we don't have Milo. But we're giving you the same product you liked from the Descendants, just with a different singer and everything.
Yeah. Even when Dio went back to Black Sabbath, they called it Heaven and Hell. More money calling it Pantera. You're right.
That's right. It's all about the pocketbook.
Yeah. I mean, don't get it twisted. They're all talking, we're going to celebrate the Abbott brothers. No, you're not. You're making fucking money.
Yep.
Let's call a spade a spade. Oh, good for you, man. I think it's, if I end up, I was thinking about, we'll talk about it with the Metallica stuff, but like I was thinking about going to that show.
Yeah.
Because I want to see it.
Metallica?
Yeah.
I can't.
Anyway. I haven't seen them since.
That's my news.
John, you got any news?
Hey, look, man, if you want to support, music, support us.
Oh, that is definitely a lie. They are in it for the cash.
Exactly. I'm glad, my brother, we're on the same page. Go out and buy yourself a Sack of Sin t-shirt. This is a classic. We talked about Permanent Hangover on the Clips Ahoy, which, by the way, if you want to watch Clips Ahoy, I've been putting some clips out. This is the official Permanent Hangover shirt that my boy made for me, which I love. And
it's got the Sack of Sin logo on the back, too.
Yeah, if you go to the Sack of Sin showcase coming up on March 11th, you will be, maybe, if my boy is printing away like in his little sweatshop, we might be able to give you some of these. So
I got to get my children to work, that child labor. We got to have child sweat in these shirts.
I could just see Xander going, dun, 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 dun. Sweat coming off his brow.
Me standing behind him, wagging a finger like, print those shirts, kid. Print those. I smell animation. Print those shirts, you little bastard. But Dad, can I get a drink? No, you're not getting water on my shirts.
You do 15 shirts, we're going to get you on to you could use the Pittsburgh toilet downstairs.
That's right.
Now get to work.
Mine's old-fashioned cider. Mine's old-fashioned cider. Oh, God.
So anyway, go to sackofsin.com, click on the merch page, and you know what? If you type in the offer code SACKUP, SACKUP, you will get 20% off your order.
Nice.
Sackofsin.com, click on the merch page. Get yourself a Yikes. I put up a new Ghetto Fabulous shirt.
It's Ghetto Fabulous.
It's Ghetto Fabulous. So pick that up. Pick up a Yikes t-shirt. We got a bunch. Or you can get these handmade ones that are friggin' awesome. I love it. You should love it too. So anyway.
We'll have a limited run.
Yes. It's a limited edition.
So I don't know where you want to go next.
Let's.
Movies, TVs, or. This is something we kind of impromptu just threw in there. Trailers.
Yes. Trailer talk.
The only
I gotta get back on the freaking.
I had trailers listed, but like, it's been so long for some of these. Like, I had the Beau is Afraid, which I had the Quantumanium one.
Yeah,
that came out. I'm past that now. I know there's just I haven't watched it, and I'm not going to do a reaction because we got too much to get to. But the Scream 6 trailer,
I thought it was amazing. I
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it? We'll
but the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer, that I'll talk about.
You got some Babu Frick in there.
Oh, you got Babu Frick.
Babu Frick!
That was like the only good thing out of the sequel trilogy.
You know, I'm watching it. I'm thinking, I don't know what your feelings on the next season, like what your predictions are. I'm starting to realize, and I heard this through one of the other podcasts, and it like fucking just stuck with me. I'm like, holy shit, he's got a point. That this is all leading up to the fact that, you know, Grogu is actually the Mandalorian.
Well, I think he's training to be it because he had to pick.
Right. The voiceover is like what it means to be a Mandalorian. He's like, and that's not like him doing a thing for us. That I think that's him talking to Grogu and training him and to be teaching him what it is to be a Mandalorian. Because Grogu has said, I don't want to be a Jedi. I want to go with you.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling at some point we're watching Grogu kick ass. He sends that freaking thing out the freaking cave and he's coming out. He's like falling into his powers.
Yeah.
I think, and I know you watched a lot of the animated, I think he's going to be a Mandalorian. And he's going to take, Bo-Katan is going to take the Darksaber from, oh my God.
I like where you're going. From
right?
Jin, yes.
And then once she has that, Grogu's going to get pissed off. Right? And immediately attack her and take the Darksaber from her. Because her house is cursed because they took that Darksaber back when without earning it, because you have to earn it through battle.
Yep.
And they just took it. So I think he's going to get pissed off that she just beat him and then go after her, kick ass on her, take the Darksaber, and unite all of Mandalore behind him.
Damn, you went deep into that.
Because I think what we're seeing when you see all those Mandalorians on the hills and coming in that we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I think there's been a call for all the tribes of Mandalore to come back to Mandalore. And they're all making their way back to somewhere. I don't know if it's Mandalore or somewhere else, but they're all making their way back for like a meet of like, hey, we need to be a united people because there's not that many of us left.
Yeah, because there's the one that are the true Mandalorians that are like, don't take the helmet off. And even Jin's going to Mandalore to kind of, you know, confess to his sins and stuff like that. But then there's the
living lake he has to bathe in the waters of the living lake in the depths of Mandalore.
He has to bathe in the water of Lake Minnetonka.
That's right.
I think that it's going to be a gathering of the Mandalores because you have the Bo-Katan people that are just like, they make their own rules. It's kind of like religion, right?
Yeah.
Some religions are freaking hardcore. Some are like, yeah, you could jerk off on Sundays, but you know, like, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I mean, it's, you know, I like it's, and I heard somebody describe Mandalorian the best way because people go, you know, for me, Andor was so great.
Sure.
Mandalorian it's got the best of both worlds. It's got the Andor serious kind of thing, but it's also
got regular people.
Yeah, and it's also got the goofy kind of alien Star Wars space battle pew pew kind of stuff. So you get the best of both worlds on it. So that's why I think that I would say Mandalorian definitely edges over Andor.
Yeah, and it's really weird because I also heard someone mention that in the last trilogy with what's her name and what's his name and what's her name. The last trilogy of Star Wars movies.
The Rey and
we go from like we fucking defeated the Empire to all of a sudden they're back in control. Like, how did this happen? And there's nothing to fill it in. And it's really funny that the shows are what's supporting the movies, not the movies supporting the shows anymore.
Yeah.
And we're filling in that space of like, how did the Empire come back into power when they had been just pushed out and defeated? And we're starting to see that in all these series. I think it's going to tie it all up.
Yeah, and I seriously think, too, with all the other shows that are coming out, whether The Acolyte, Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, they're all based around this similar timeline.
Right.
So I think Favreau and Filoni are going to come up with like, if they were smart, which obviously they are,
Another
but
trilogy.
not even another trilogy, but like take all these shows and combine them into one Avengers level freaking, whether it's a TV thing or if it's even a movie. You
Right.
could get
That's
all
what I
these
mean.
people. Yeah, and what's great about the TV shows is they fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
Like the Andors and the stuff is like, you get confused with the timeline, but at the same time, like the beauty of it is these movies, there's always a time jump.
Right.
So you're like, what the fuck happened between, Empire and Jedi, or what happened between this and this? And you can follow up. Like I've said in the past, my favorite trilogy to watch is Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, and To A New Hope.
Yep.
They get their medals, they're all happy, and they blew up the Death Star. Done.
I'm done. I'm going home.
Yeah. You see him turn into Vader, You get the Death Star plans, then you see the Death Star blow up. Chewie gets a medal. Well, Chewie doesn't get a medal, so he doesn't get it till the 9th.
Fucking Chewie. It's not even his medal. The last trailer that I watched, and we don't have to get into it, but like I thought it was kind of funny. I can't wait to see what they do with this. Is the 4-night Hulu special event, the trailer for History of the World Part 2. Jews, no, but they're doing
Hitler on Ice. Are they doing that one?
They better have a Hitler on Ice, and they better have a Jews in space.
I can't believe they're actually finally doing it.
I know.
But
in this politically correct climate, I'm like, what the fuck are they going to do? I'm afraid the pendulum has swung too much the other way, and they're just going to be like, well, we have to make fun of this, and we have to make fun of that.
I think so, but also it's Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
Mel
he
Brooks
doesn't
don't give a fuck. And that's what I love about him. Like I remember during the pandemic, his son had him. He was visiting his father, Mel, and Mel was in his house like this, and I was like, protect that man at all times. He is a fucking national treasure. Do not let that guy die of COVID.
Nothing happens to Mel. Nothing happens to Mel.
That man better do the 1,000-year-old man or whatever he used to do. God bless that man. So I think if anybody could break this cycle of wokeness, fucking he can.
Yeah.
Let him do freaking Hitler on Ice. Let him do Jews in space. Do it, man. Don't back out. Don't be a puss. Yeah. Do it. All right?
Yep.
But anyway, Scream 6, really good.
Okay. I'm going to watch it later.
That's right. You haven't seen it, but we'll watch it after we get off mic. We'll touch each other. And watch it.
So movies. Have you seen any movies in the past couple of weeks?
I did see one, and it was one that you watched, and I decided, Manal and I were like, she said, oh, I heard this movie was good. I was like, John was talking about it on the pod. We watched The Menu.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't decide whether I like it or not.
That's how I felt. There was parts of it that I was like, oh, and parts that I was like, oh, give me a fucking break.
It was so weird because we were watching it, and it was it had a cool premise, and it was interesting, but there's so many questions unanswered, and I was just like, well, this is cool. It's kind of cool, creepy. I don't know if I liked it. I'm like, well, okay, so, spoiler in my blah, blah, blah. The girl that was invited.
Yeah.
With the foodie.
The hooker.
Yeah, the hooker that basically watched the old man jerk off that got his hand cut off, right?
Yeah.
It's spoilers. Whatever. I'm saving you some time. So everybody, at first I was like, okay, she got away. The way she got away was fucking okay, so you appealed to his love of cooking back then because he used to make cheeseburgers.
The thing that made him want to be a cook.
Yeah. So she did that. He made the cheeseburger and then let her go. So I'm like, okay, well, out of all the people there, everybody did fucked up shit, so they deserve to be s'mores. And she gets to go. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, no, but she's a hooker. She watched the guy jerk off. And so she's part of that. She should have fucking been roasted, too. Why did she get to go away?
But I don't think she was. I think it's because she wasn't doing anything dishonest. She was being real, and all those other people were fake.
Yeah,
and putting on a show and not being honest. And I think that's why her order of the cheeseburger appealed to him, because he was like, "Wow, that's honest. That's what people want. People order this fancy shit, schmancy shit, and they're like, oh my god, you don't understand." When people just want something good to eat.
Yeah.
And she showed him hey, I just want something good to eat. And he's like, and I just want to cook something that's good that people don't have to make up shit about.
Yeah.
Man, that was a juicy fucking cheeseburger.
Yeah. And, the people that were coming in, I I'm sorry to people. I fucking hate foodies.
Oh,
I just like, and they were doing all that. First of all, the one group of guys, they were just fucking poser fakers. And then you have Leguizamo, who's always a treat. But yeah, it was one of those where, and then I'm like, okay, well so we got that. So they left, and then all the other chefs that were there, they know they were gonna die. Like, why would they sign up for this shit?
Yeah,
like. Okay, are you that? I mean, sure.
That was my problem.
There's people in Jonestown that drank the fucking Kool-Aid, but is he that much of a big chef that people would freaking want to die?
And that was my thing. Especially after the first guy gets his throat slit, it's as I don't know how committed you are after actually watching one of your your coworkers die, and wait, this shit's for real. I'm gonna die at the end. I don't want to fucking die.
Yeah, exactly. And they were all just all into it. Apparently they all knew. Yeah. Now, I thought it would be cooler if the chefs, the other cooks, didn't know.
Right.
And they were like, oh, wait, we're going to die? But then there would have been a revolt. I get it. But, yeah, that was the only movie I watched this week. I want to watch that movie Sick that's on...
Oh, yes.
Okay. I was hoping to see it with Violet. Maybe we'll see it this weekend because she's my little horror queen. But that looks good. That's a pandemic. But it's talking about Scream 6. It's... The writer, Kevin Williamson, who wrote the Scream movies, wrote this movie, Sick. Oh. And it looks good. It's a typical slasher based in the pandemic. Somebody had to do it eventually. That should be good. But yeah, that's the only... What did you see movie-wise there, old chum?
Well, thank you. Wait, you speak whale? I saw the whale.
I've dated a few.
Oh, shit.
Shots fired. Oh, boy.
Shots fired. I wish I knew where my fucking rim shot was. I guess I'll settle for the rim job.
Yeah, okay.
So, I watched The Whale.
I've been dying to
It was
see
good.
It. Okay.
Again, like most people are saying, I don't think it's worthy of all the hype it's getting.
You did show me the first 2 minutes of it, and...
Spoiler, guys, the first 2 minutes is overweight, very grossly overweight Brendan Fraser in a chair watching gay porn masturbating.
Yeah, and you don't even see his dick.
He doesn't even see his dick.
I don't think he's seen his dick since the 80s.
Not the real life B. Fraser.
Yeah, no. B. Frage is a
another one.
Slim gentleman.
Not anymore.
Nah, he's still a little chunky,
anyway, we won't get into
that. He's not the whale, literally.
Yeah, he's not George of the Jungle anymore.
No, but he's also not.
But who is,
He's not also Walter Hudson either.
True.
Fix me one of them Dick Gregory's.
I liked it. It was entertaining. I did very much the whole time I'm watching it. I'm like, I can see where it was a play.
Yeah, because apparently it's all based in that one set in the apartment.
Right. They do have other things there's a couple of scenes outside on the front, with his friend, the woman who helps take care of him, and the guy who's the religious guy or whatever, the Jehovah's the replacement for the Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
I mean, it was I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been saying even before you saw it, Brendan Fraser needs a win,
He does.
And
I think this is his win.
Yeah, and I'm so happy certain actors, as much as everybody goofs on Adam Sandler and his first of all, I get it. It's for every Jack and Jill, there's a Happy Madison, or a Happy Gilmore and a Billy Madison. When he got the thing for Uncut Gems, I thought Uncut Gems was great. People like that. It's just and it was cute. If you ever get a chance on YouTube, they did a actor on actor interview, and It was Adam Sandler interviewing Brendan Fraser.
Oh.
And it was so cool, because you forget they did Airheads together, and all that stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, good on you." And the two of them, I'm like, the two least likely.
Yeah,
I don't think Sandler got an Oscar for that, but he did. I mean, people praised the shit out.
Well, he is up for a Golden Globe, not a Golden Globe, a SAG award for the movie Hustle.
Yeah,
which a lot of times you see things that have gone to the Golden Globes, things that have gone to the SAG awards, and then the next thing after that.
Yeah.
Is the Academy Award. So you start to see the trend. So now I'm interested to see what happens with Hustle if he's going to get recognized for that.
I think it's a long shot for him, but considering it's pretty stacked with some
I can see
Crazy
now.
stuff.
Brendan Fraser's up for a SAG award for. I don't know if he got a Golden Globe. Did he win the Golden Globe?
I think he definitely won the SAG.
No, the SAG hasn't happened yet. Then he won the Golden
was
Globe.
Was it Critics' Choice?
Yeah,
I think
the Critics' Choice. I think he was up for Golden Globe. I don't know if he won it, but he's up for a SAG award, and we'll see how that goes. I'm guaranteeing he's at least going to get an Academy nomination.
Yeah, it's like
whether or not he'll win.
Yeah, it's like Angela Bassett in Wakanda Forever, but it's like, oh, she's the one, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, okay, we'll see. You know, I still haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I'm dying to.
Good.
I want to see it this weekend. Short round winning that Golden Globe was just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and then,
people like that. I'm happy to see the Brendan Frasers and the
I can't say his
sorry,
name.
I can't remember his
Short
name.
round.
Short round.
Data.
Yeah, no time for love, Dr. Jones. He was, you know, he's
My
great
Pinch's apparel. I've been saved by my Pinch's apparel.
Yeah, and it's great to see. And they also did another round table thing with him and some other ones. So it's good to see these actors that were like pretty much like.
You thought they were going to be a one-hit wonder, and now they're back actually.
Yeah, I mean, you know, don't get it twisted. I mean, Adam Sandler's made some fucking shit dog movies.
Oh yeah,
but, you know, but like I said, he gets a pass.
I think he's doing the Jim Carrey thing, where he made all these fucking crazy, outlandish comedies that were nostalgic and their go-to. Everybody's like, I could watch Ace Ventura tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I could watch Happy Gilmore and those movies anytime. And then they just start leaning into making that transition and making a couple of shit movies. Yeah. And then really start heavy leaning into the dramatic roles.
Yeah. I mean, look, I enjoyed Grown Ups. Look.
You're the one?
I
don't know why I don't like that movie.
I like the cast. I like you got the sand. It's basically you could tell when they did that movie that like he just got a bunch of his friends together to just have a blast. Like why not? It's like Adam Sandler. If you've noticed in all of his movies, his wives like fucking tens.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, who am I gonna get for my let's get, you know, like every freaking hot 10 is his wife in his movies, and I'm like, good on you, man. Good on you that you're like,
well,
why not abuse that power? Why not?
I'm gonna make the Wasp connection here. So he gets a bunch of his friends, like J.J. Abrams, and all of his friends make stuff together. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw the report that, like, the Cloverfield monster, they actually confirmed the origins of why it was.
I heard, but I don't know what it was.
It was a baby alien freaking out on Earth looking for its family.
Really?
That's what it's basically supposed to be. That thing tearing apart New York City was one alien in this group of aliens that fell on Earth and is like, oh my God, where's everybody else? Like a panicked child searching for its mom.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, those movies, 10 Cloverfield Lane, I didn't see the Paradox one, but that first Cloverfield is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
It's just such a well done.
I think it was Stas. Maybe it was Stas who posted it on Facebook that he was watching it on a big TV. Somebody posted they were watching on
it was Jerry, yeah.
Jerry was watching on a 4K TV and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, man, I have not seen that movie in forever, and I got a nice new TV. Maybe I'll go watch it.
It's been on, like, if it's been on some of the cable ones, I've caught glimpses of it. And
right.
And I think Stash made the comparison of, like, the motion sickness thing, kind of like Blair Witch. Like, you try to watch it. But Jerry made a good point. I mean, some of you people are like, who are these people? They're our friends, right? He said, well, when you're in a theater, it's very jarring. And it's very, like, but when you're watching it at home, even if you have a big TV, it's not going to. It's a lot easier
because you've got the whole room around you to remind you, like, you're not really moving.
Yes, and that's kind of like what I do when I'm on those virtual rides, like when you go on Soaring in Epcot. Have you ever been on that?
Every now and then you just gotta look at the floor.
I just look at the side. I'm like, okay, that's a screen, because I'm like, I'm going to die.
Hey, brain, that's a screen. Okay, don't puke.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, a lot of good stuff out movie wise. A lot of good stuff coming. I mean, January is usually a slow month, but like, man, gearing up. We got Quantumania. We got freaking
February and March are gonna be nuts.
Between Evil Dead and Scream, and oh my God, it's just gonna be
and TV stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
Speaking of TV,
hey,
I got a whole bunch of new shows, but I'm just gonna bring it down to these three.
Okay.
I started watching Vikings of Valhalla.
Okay.
It's a continuation of the original Viking series that was on like TNT or whatever.
Oh yeah,
but it fast forwards and it follows Leif Erikson.
Oh, not to be confused with Leif Garrett.
Right. I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done with season 2. There's 2 seasons. It was one of those, like, it pops up on Netflix, like, new season. I'm like, I haven't watched the old season.
Oh, good thing. Yeah.
I mean,
good time.
the original Viking show, I got like 4 seasons into it and was like, fuck it. I bailed.
It's good. I heard good things about it.
My daughter was watching, and a bunch of my students, I saw them at school watching on Netflix and study hall and shit like that, or in the library watching this show on Netflix, Ginny and Georgia.
Okay.
It's all right. It's fun.
It's
That's the one I sent you the clip where they're talking about Big Dick Dumb.
Yeah.
He's Big Dick Dumb, you know.
Yeah.
Big Dick, little brain.
Oh, yeah. It's like all the blood goes to the dick and not the brain. Yeah, I get it.
It reminded me of our conversation from a couple of weeks back. And one other one, and I'm going into this one. Holy shit, The Last of Us, the first episode.
Yeah, let's that's the big one that we should talk about. Like, now did you play the game?
I did, and Mila reminded me, she's like, Dad, I thought you'd honestly be playing the game again now that the show is out. And I was like, holy shit, you're right, I should.
Yeah, but then you get it, like, I'm the opposite. I wanted to talk to you about it because you've played the game, and I've heard it's very, like, spot on with the game. I have never played the game, so it's kind of like the Walking Dead crowd where some read the comics, some didn't. So they're changing it, but just from what I understand, they're enhancing it.
Yeah, they're taking things out. Like, so did you watch it?
Oh yeah.
So you know that scene where they go in and the girl's sitting on Ellie's sitting on the floor and they're gonna shoot her and there's all these people dead.
Yeah.
In the game, you play that scene.
Okay.
And those people getting shot and dying, and then it goes into the scene of like, we got to transport her stuff. They cut all that out of the show because it's not necessary. You didn't need that. Was something that I feel like was in the game to make you an active participant in the story early on. Mm-hmm. Just like when Joel and his daughter, all that, you are actively playing those scenes. It's like you're clicking through the story, but then in certain things like with the car you're driving and all that stuff to make you an active participant in that intro story, which is great.
Yeah.
The show gives us all those things that we love from the game and adds, for once, we got to show that when it adds shit, it's purposeful and it's meaningful to the story and it's not annoying as fuck.
Yeah, that from what I understand is like people that have played the game where they talk about Joel and his daughter, you know, when you're playing the game, what happens, which, I mean, shit, fucking it's been out for a week. We're going to spoil the shit out of it. But like when his daughter gets killed, people that played the game were like, okay, that's sad. But like they've watched it now. From what I understand for this show, which by the way, the first episode's 90 minutes. I was like, I think they're all going to be that long.
Well, they were going to cut it. They were actually going to stop the episode at the point where, spoiler, his daughter dies. Before they do the big time, or somewhere around there, they were going to cut it, but they decided, they were going to cut it with the scene where he throws that kid into the fire.
Yeah.
To show that transition between him, like, losing his shit about his daughter dying and holding her to being fucking indifferent about dumping some kid into the fire.
Yeah. And that was just...
That was where they were going to cut it, and they decided not to.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, from what I understand, like I said, when people playing the game, it's like... But what they did, like we were saying, enhancing the story is that you get such a backstory of the daughter. Now, when she gets offed, you're like, people were like just losing their shit crying because they're like, oh my God, yet now I know her so much better because of the show. In the video game, you're just like, you know, you're doing whatever.
They gave us more backstory so we actually care.
Yeah.
And we can actually feel for Joel and like why he's so distraught.
Yeah.
Not that us as parents wouldn't understand that. I do want to call out the fucking guys from what's that channel? The guy in the video store. Fuck.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I don't watch them, but
I'm gonna call him out on some shit here because all these people who are doing the reviews of Screen Crush.
Oh, okay.
You know, all these people who are doing reviews of the show, they point out the talk show thing in the beginning.
Yes.
And they point out the one guy who played Big Head on Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And then the other guy who's got the cigarettes like, oh, the fungus. I forget what he's been on a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And they completely ignore the other fucking guy like he's nobody. And that other guy is the guy who played the fucking Swede on Thor Gunderson on that AMC Hell on Wheels show. He's been that guy has been in so much shit. I can't say his name. It's like Christopher Heyerdahl.
from what looking at the three, he was the one that I recognized.
Yeah. He was the one I recognized right off the bat, and the other two, I mean, I recognized him, but I was like, where the fuck? I couldn't. He's the one who I immediately was like, oh, that's the Swede from fucking Hell on Wheels.
Yeah.
The other two, I was like, oh, that's, what's his name from, what the fuck? What's that show?
Yeah. No, I mean, that beginning part,
So I'm calling that guy out that he didn't even freaking mention.
And it was funny. I think Variety did a story about that because when you watch that beginning, I think it's 1968 or 69, They start talking about the virus, like, obviously with COVID and all this stuff that went on, you start hearing the explanation of it. It's not like aliens came from down and started, like, shit, this could happen.
It could.
Yeah, but they had some scientists debunk it, like, well, but it's so grounded in that thing.
It's a rational argument that seems like that could happen.
Yeah, like you watch it and you go.
And I thought I was going to be mad because in the game, a lot of people have talked about the fact that, like, in the game, all the characters have to wear gas masks because the spores, if you breathe in the spores, you can get infected.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be mad about the little freaking tentacles coming out of the people's mouth, but I'm not. And I see also the rationale that, like, the idea, would you want half these characters, like, you want Pedro Pascal putting on a mask again?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Let the man, he's a handsome gentleman. Man. Let the man show his face.
That's right.
I mean, Mandalorian. I mean, look at Pedro Pascal, who's got this and freaking Mando this year. You're like, I mean,
Pedro's winning.
Yeah, and also for Mandalorian, he doesn't have to be in that suit. He's just doing the voice, like, so whatever. But yeah, I was kind of scared going into it just because.
I just hope that they can keep this up for. Someone said that they sent out to all the media reviewers. They sent out the entire season for them to review, and there's this theory that they don't believe that much in the show, so they're just getting ahead of the.
See, I think it's the opposite. Because they're so confident in this thing. Plus, because it's so faithful to the video game, what are you going to spoil? If you played the video game, you know what happens.
I'm just hoping they keep that faithfulness and staying to the storyline and stuff. I hope they keep that up. I know they're gonna. I guess it's going to be an episode. They've already told you what episode it's in. The flashback to Ellie and her girlfriend and about them sneaking out of the school and stuff, going to this mall, and that's where they run into the freaking zombie type things and get attacked.
Oh, they're not zombies. They're infected.
The infected. They run into the infected.
People get so bent on that shit.
They both get attacked and whatnot, and she gets bit and thinks, oh my God, and that's how you find out. You find out her backstory of how she got bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely the reason they put out the whole season, I think, is just because spoil the shit. It's kind of like, and people go, "Whoa, you're gonna spoil." It's like it's based on a video game. It's just like Walking Dead was based on the comics, and like when I was super into The Walking Dead, by the time I got to the third season, I'm like, I want to know what happens in the prison. I read the fucking comic books. Now it didn't play out exactly the way it was, but it gave it like. You're not going to spoil it. Because
that makes me think that, like, with this show, if they're willing to give out the entire season to reviewers, then it can't deviate from the original story.
It doesn't. From what I understand is that from people that have played the game. Now, like I said, I have never played it, but it's so faithful to the source material that, if anything, like we said, with Joel's daughter and certain aspects of that thing, they're just trimming the fat and enhancing, the storyline. Like just
trimming the fat and then shooting it up with steroids.
Exactly.
7'4", 545
Yeah,
pounds.
but that was my whole thing. Is like the reviewers who've played the game, if they say it stays faithful, I'm cool. Me as someone who's played the game and has only seen the first episode, my feeling is like, God, I hope it stays this faithful to the game.
Yeah, because in the past we've been burned with certain ones. Like, oh my God, Boba Fett, awesome. Obi-Wan, awesome. You're like, maybe.
So that was my only other show.
Yeah, and then I did watch Bad Batch. I'm still on that with season 4, episode 4. It's back to the adventure of the week,
which is nice.
Yeah, very episode 1 pod racing.
Well, yeah,
I was just like, like they lose, they start a bet, they have to win the bet in order to get their stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is very derivative.
But what I think that let us do is build tech as a character.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, reviewers and media people, which, by the way, I mean, we're entertainment people. Put us on these things.
Yeah.
I want screeners, goddammit. From what I understand, some people that have had the whole season, or they've gotten advanced episodes. That one with Crosshair, the third one, that was so good. They're peppered into the season.
Right.
Like, you're going to get a couple adventures of the week, which I enjoy. I'm fine with it. In and out, one episode, whatever. But there are certain other ones in there that are going to tie in.
Right. Like, I feel like they're leading us up to those guys getting betrayed by Sid. And then they're going to be like, well, fuck this. Because, I mean, I think they're not meant to settle in one place. Because I'm like, the Empire's looking for these guys.
Yeah.
If they settle in one place, they're easy to be found. And I'm wondering if Sid knows this too and is going to betray them and make it look like she really betrayed them, but she's doing it so that they fucking go and continue being basically nomads and going here to there to there.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying too with the Bad Batch, that those guys aren't in any of the movies. Like, they never show up in anything. So, like, what's their fate? Do they freaking eat it? But it's a cartoon.
I mean, I wonder if we're going to get some of them in some of the series stuff that got coming out.
Yeah, I mean, we got Rex. No, did we get Rex? No, we haven't gotten Rex yet. It's only been animated. People have that theory. Did you ever see that theory of in Return of the Jedi? There's a bunch of rebel guys there.
Okay.
And they're fighting. They're at that one station in Endor.
Yeah.
They're all fighting. There's a guy with gray beard. They're like, that's Rex.
Oh god,
get the
awesome.
fuck. I don't know if Lucas confirmed it.
Right.
But because he wasn't. I mean, Commander Cody showed up in Bad Batch and he's gone. So you're like, oh, we know what happened to him. But yeah, Rex, a lot of people point that out. They're like, yeah, they said that's Rex. That's in that thing. So if it is, cool. So maybe he shows up. But yeah, I mean, Omega can jump off a cliff. Who cares? But but yeah, I think that's it about TV, man. I mean, and I did start watching, actually, Your Honor. I talked about that.
Yeah, my back itches.
Yeah, scratch it, brother. It's good. Like, they did a second season, which I was like, I didn't think the way that they ended it was so tragic. I was like, why are they doing it? It's interesting. They're continuing the story. Cranston's got a beard bigger than yours.
Oh, boy.
Rocking it. The first scene in it, all I have to say is watch the first cold open with it. You're like...
I didn't watch season 1.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I recommend it. It was good. I enjoyed it. I was surprised.
Put it on my list.
I was surprised that they're doing another season, and now they are. And the way that the story is they're kind of continuing the story, even though I don't want to spoil it for you, but we'll spoil it for everybody else, but not for each other. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off!
Exactly.
Help myself.
Your Honor, season 2. If you want to catch up with season 1, it's pretty quick. It was good. It's based in New Orleans. It's got that kid from Game Changers in it.
Yeah, I've been.
Do you remember that show? And maybe your kids are too young for that, too old for that. But there was a Nickelodeon show called Game Shakers, and one of the kids is actually in this playing like a gangster kind of kid, and he's good. He's really good. I was like, good on you. I love them when those Disney kids actually do something.
We'll talk next week about the Mayfair Witches.
Oh, are they scary?
No, it's a show I'm watching that's based on an Anne Rice book series.
Yeah, well, we got time. I don't know.
No, we don't got time. We got hard to train along.
Little teaser.
All right.
Little teaser there.
I know what we got to go to.
Watch the musician from the big rock band. Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's time for Greg's Music News.
Tits indeed, everybody. Hey, so listen, there's a lot of music that's out there right
Fuck
now.
yeah.
Usually it's like, I don't know. There's a single out. I looked through my old Spotify. There's a ton of new music. A lot of singles. We'll start with full albums first.
Okay.
Full albums, one that came out from the mighty Obituary. If you're into the old school death metal, they have a new album out, Dying of Everything. It's just like their 11th album or something like that. Right. The only reason I know them is because when my old band was shopping with Roadrunner, they were on it. And I listened to the album because people were ranting and raving about it. I'm like, Obituary, that band? I'm like, okay. Really good. Oh. Like, if you're into that, like, it's not too, like, it's, it's got some melody to it. It's got some great playing on it. If you're into that stuff, check out the mighty Obituary. Also, Maneskin. They put out that whole album called Rush. I listened to some of it. They got some songs. They got some good songs.
Right.
You know, haven't really listened to the whole thing fully, but, you know, everybody knows freaking the begging cover. So I was like, oh, what else they got?
Begging cover?
I'm begging.
That's a cover?
You. Yeah, it's oh God.
I did not know that.
It is a cover.
File that under I didn't know it.
It is a cover. It's a cover of, it's an old song too. Shit.
All right.
It's one of those old 50s guys. Anyway, so those are the two ones. The big thing this week is
my penis.
Singles. Everybody's doing the algorithm, baby.
I knew about some of these. I knew about some of these singles because some of them I'm on their email list and get it.
Yeah.
And some of them I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I don't even know who some of these are.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch out here. I mean, first off, we'll start with a favorite of the D-Love and Michelle, The National. If you've listened to them, they put out a single, Tropic Morning News. They're an acquired taste. I don't know if you've ever gotten into The National. Daryl and Michelle love The National.
Yeah, that's one of those bands I don't know who the fuck they are.
They're good. The singer's kind of like this, and all his songs are kind of deep like this, and then their songs. I was like, it's kind of the complaint. Don't get me wrong. They got some hits, not hits, but like they have good songs. I don't know. Too much of them is like, you're like, it's like Wilco, kind of like you're like,
another band I don't know anything about.
It's a band that you're like, I should like this. I don't know if I do. It's kind of like The Menu.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I Need My Girl's an amazing song, but 10, 15, 20 songs that are just in that same voice, I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But good on them. Bouncing Souls, new single. 10 Stories High.
Any good?
You can't go wrong with the Bouncing Souls.
Okay.
They're great. They have a new album coming out soon. So that single came out. Another one there, Macklemore, our boy.
He's got another new one coming, too, because I didn't even know that song. There's a email I got from him.
Oh, yeah. Apparently Brad Pitt. It's his cousin.
That's my ringtone.
Brad Pitt. That's my cousin. He has a song out, Heroes.
Ben.
I'm not as big into the Macklemore as you are. I mean, I know some of their hits, but he's great. I mean, the guy could spit some fucking bars, man, you know.
He's got a whole new album dropping on 3/3/23.
Oh, okay.
It's called Ben.
Nice.
Ben. The two of us
need love no more.
And he's releasing it in double album green vinyl.
Sweet. So all you audiophobes, audiophiles, or whatever the fuck you guys call yourselves, yeah, check that out.
Go fuck a foodie.
It's got DJ Premier on it.
Yeah,
which, you know he knows how to do
enjoyed it.
I did too. I don't get it twisted. I love Macklemore. I'm not.
You know who I love more than Macklemore?
Who's that?
Professor Macklemore.
Who's Professor Macklemore?
It's Macklemore before he got all in his early days.
Oh,
there's some good shit in those albums. I'm like, holy shit! It's good.
You could tell it's like the seed of somebody like.
It's like listening to Eminem before he actually made it, and you're like, man, you can hear the grit and determination, the struggle in his music.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. If you get a chance, just give it a listen.
Professor Macklemore, yeah.
Professor Macklemore.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I got to get deep into that stuff. Other than that, there's a couple, and then I'll leave the two big ones, the singles, for the end. Rival Sons, a band. They have a band. Well, they're a band. No shit, Sherlock. Rival Sons, they have a new song out called Rapture. They're one of the bands that came out, Rival Sons, Blackberry Smoke, a couple of bands that are just doing it just like straight up 70s kind of rock. If you listen to the singer from Rival Sons, it's really good. He sounds very much like the singer of Bad Company. Okay. It's my laptop over there. It keeps beeping.
Oh, I'm looking to see if there's somebody in the chat, and I'm like, nope, nobody in the chat.
No. We had our fans for a while. Now they kind of disappeared. But yeah, Rival Sons. Do you ever get a chance? All these I'm going to put on the new Hey Pal, What's New Spotify 2023 playlist, which I will be building this weekend. So I'll post that when it comes out. You can check all these songs out. Other than that, 7 Seconds. For some reason, they have a single, the Walk Together, Rock Together.
Yeah.
They put out as a single. Okay. Love the band. Love the song. Bought the T-shirt. Okay. Doesn't sound any different than the other one, but sure. Release it as a single.
I mentioned to you this might be a Tay-Tay situation where the original record company owns those songs as they were recorded.
Yep.
And they can't make any money or do anything. So they're just, since they own the songs themselves, they're going in and re-recording them like in the style of the original to re-release them so that they can actually get revenue by, hey, play the new one, not the old one.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that was an amazing transition to the next song that's out, because De La Soul, the mighty De La Soul, they released the single of The Magic Number.
3.
It's a magic number. To announce that finally, God finally, De La Soul will be on streaming in March, their older catalog. Now, if you've been on Spotify, you've noticed that like 2014 on, they have their stuff. But
right.
You're like, where's 3 Feet High and Rising? One of the best hip-hop records
Oh, my God.
of all fucking time.
Thank God I owned it, ripped it, and it's in my iTunes catalog.
Yeah.
Some of those albums are the reason I still pay for that iTunes match, which was like, hey, you have a library of songs, upload them to the cloud, and you can get your songs from anywhere that you have in your library. Like Permanent Hangover is in my iTunes library.
Nice.
Every time I go on it because it was on my original computer library.
Yeah.
So I can still listen to that, and it's been painful because like I always want to play some of those songs to my students when they're like quietly doing work. It's like some of those songs are like great music that like they need to know that like, this is the roots of some of the shit you listen to now, guys.
Oh, I did it definitely with Violet, because
Right.
Violet, she's a huge, she likes all different kinds of music, which is great. She's got good taste in music, but she's also a huge Spider-Man fan. When we saw No Way Home, at the end, I was like, they play that song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I love this song. And she's looking at me, she's like, who is this? And I'm like, motherfucker, you're going to listen to 3 Feet High and Rising. It is on YouTube Music, so
Right.
you can listen to it. But for years and years and years, they didn't have the right. It's kind of like Def Leppard. They didn't. You couldn't get any of their stuff on Spotify because they didn't own it. Same with AC/DC and all this other shit. No, AC/DC was just saying fuck the streaming, but they gave in too. But I just read that they got the rights back. 3 Feet High and Rising and De La Soul is Dead. Those 2 records going to be up on streaming in March.
Sweet.
I cannot wait. I played that whole album, 3 Feet High, on YouTube for Violet. She loved it. She was like, oh my God. I was like, that is a freaking masterpiece, that record.
Yep.
So if you haven't listened to 3 Feet High and Rising, you need a Ludin is what you need.
That's right.
Because Prince Paul needs a Ludin.
Prince Paul needs a Ludin.
And then the last one, which I'm sure everybody is talking about.
Are they?
I don't know. Metallica, another single, Screaming Suicide.
I wish they would.
Look, I'm going to rant on this. Leave Metallica alone. Everybody, stop it. Look, I'm going to tell everybody right now. This is my little fucking rant on this.
Okay, old man, throwing your fist up at the
Let me
clouds.
tell you something. They're middle-aged men. They're never going to do Master of Puppets again. Just let it go. They're doing new music. They're enjoying. Look, I see Metallica now. They're enjoying the shit out of everything. Like, and look, I did actually go down after the Metallica song. It's nothing great. It's nothing amazing. It's not For Whom the Bell Tolls. You're never gonna get that again.
Well, because time marches on.
It does. It's got like that same thing of Luxy Turner. It's got that little old kind of new wave of British heavy metal kind of style to it. He's got a little bit of rasp to his voice. But people will take this song and any Metallica release and nitpick it and pick at it. And they haven't put out a good album since Master of Puppets. Yes, they have. I will do the Pepsi challenge with some of these older songs. Look, you're never going to get,
No.
But I went and after that song, I actually did go onto my Spotify. I made my own playlist of Metallica stuff. It's just a mix of everything. Dude, come on. I mean, My Apocalypse.
I mean, I went through a period of like I just went to the Metallica, like what is it? The This Is Metallica.
Yeah.
The like essentials thing, and I had that on like repeat in my car for like a good month.
Yeah.
It's nice listening to all that old shit and then
Yeah.
all the favorite songs that like kind of like remind you of the old shit, but you can see the evolution and it's not too far removed from what you remember Metallica.
Yeah.
And what you like look at now and just go, oh, it's no Metallica.
Yeah. I mean, like listening to it now, you could cherry pick out of their albums, even the newer ones. Like, yeah. And I started listening to that playlist that I made because I didn't put, Enter Sandman and all that stuff, the shit that's been overplayed. But I cherry picked like classics from each record, from all the way, even the Lulu stuff. There's I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing. Lulu, give it a listen. It's got some weird shit on it. James yelling, "I am the table." Okay. I am the table. But entices you. You're like, what the hell? But I listened to Lux Eterna, listened to this new song, and then I went down. It started playing through my playlist, and dude, for every that Welcome Home Sanitarium came on, Harvest Surf Sorrow, and the first song I ever heard from Metallica, I still remember, Carl Anderson's bedroom, hanging out. He always had his vinyl. He's like, dude, you got to listen to this album. He showed me Ride the Lightning. The first song I heard, Fight Fire with Fire. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is incredible. And loved them ever since. Sure, they got some cringy shit on there. Lars is kind of weird and he's balding. James is Papa Hetfield. He'll always be cool.
Wait, that wasn't your first Metallica album.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I didn't do. I
You didn't do Kill 'Em All and Master of Puppets?
No. Well, I heard Ride the Lightning first.
Oh, okay.
Then went back to Kill 'Em All, and then Master of Puppets came out. What, 86?
Yeah.
So I remember when that album came out, and I bought it. So I already was familiar with with Metallica when that album came out. That's when I got on the train, was Ride the Lightning.
Because I think I got on the Metallica train. Jesus, it might have been Kill 'Em All.
See, I saw the.
What year did Kill 'Em All come out? 80. Someone's yelling at us online. Anyway,
somebody in the
chat. So it was
please.
either Kill 'Em All or Master of Puppets or both. It might have been Master of Puppets era, but it was like I heard Kill 'Em All and Master of Puppets at the same time, and it was honestly while I was in Boy Scout camp.
Yeah. So it was. If it was, I know that I'm almost positive. Now I'm gonna have to check my.
You're always first to the scene on music. I can't believe I was first to the scene on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it was is that I, what do you call it?
I don't know. What do you call it?
I forget what. Okay, Ride the Lightning was 84.
Okay.
Kill 'Em All was 83. I remember seeing the Kill 'Em All record on the Megaforce catalog.
That's what it was. It was Kill 'Em All then that I got first introduced.
And I was like, I don't know, but it wasn't until 84 that I heard Ride the Lightning because Carl played that album, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Then I went back to Kill 'Em All. And then Master of Puppets was 86.
Okay.
So I remember, if I was in 1984, I was 13. So, yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, I was 12. It was Kill 'Em All. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I said Master of Puppets. It was Kill 'Em All that I first heard at Boy Scout camp.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, going back to it was nice to go back to it where it's like, so, yeah, I mean, the whole Metallica thing with the double thing. Now they released the single day tickets with Pantera. So I'm kind of like, I was tempted with it. My girl Manala's a huge Metallica fan. She's seen them like 20-something times.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, right?
Whatever.
So, yeah,
I saw him with Cliff.
Damn you. See, I didn't. See, I was... You beat me to it. So you heard Kill 'Em All. I only saw Kill 'Em All on the Megaforce catalog.
Right.
Saw the hammer and the blood. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Then I got Ride the Lightning and went forward. And I remember when Master of Puppets came out in 86. So if I was 86, then I was 15. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
And then me and Carl docked, and it was great. That we showed each other our wieners, and we had a good time.
Tip to tip.
But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to, check out the new Metallica.
Will do.
Leave them alone. They're having a good time. James is sober again. Lars, I've grown to appreciate Lars and his stupidity. I don't know why. And listen to some of the younger stuff. Even listen to... I'll defend Saint Anger to the day I die.
That's a good song.
Saint Anger's good. Frantic. Some Kind of Monster. Go to My Apocalypse. Go to freaking Moth into Flame. Go into, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Dude, there's some bangers in there. You just gotta dig. It's not all masterpieces like Master of Puppets or Kill 'Em All or, those three. Yeah. So that's my rant. Metallica, I won't see you on tour. I'll watch you on TV.
That's big news.
Now he just looks like a big fat ham. It's time for Greg's Music News.
So yeah, man, we covered a lot of ground.
Covered a lot of shit.
A lot of ground. It's good to be back. hopefully we'll get back on the regs.
So some house cleaning here.
Yes.
The Sack of Sin showcase.
Yes.
March 11th.
Yes. I keep wanting to say March 10th. That's my sobriety date.
I was going to say it's day after your sobriety date.
Yeah.
March 11th.
Yes. March 11th. It's at the Loft in Poughkeepsie. We got a killer lineup. A lot of the Sack of Sin talent roster. Plus also some other surprises from our boy Vern, who's been on the chat, New Diamond Entertainment. So, yeah, we got Robbie Maverick opening acoustic, first show ever, Moonlight Initiative, Blue Alien Mystic, Mia's Facelift, Breach the Asylum, Primacus, which is their debut performance, The Critically Ashamed, and Alter Ego. All those guys, we got a lot of Sack of Sin people, some New Diamond Entertainment people. We're doing this together. We're forming like Voltron. So get your tickets. We're going to have the ticket link up soon. And we got some new bands adding onto the roster as we speak.
Yes.
Let me just give them a quick shout-out before we get out of here. We got Spike Polite. He is a new guy on the Sack of Sin. So go on the website.
I went on the website and listened to them.
Yeah, they're great. They're punk rock. I saw them in the city. Didn't even realize it was the same guy. And they're great New York City punk rock, Casualties kind of sound, female bass player. You can't go wrong with that.
Fucked up.
Yeah, seriously. And then we also have, I spoke to my man Dimitri. I'm going to call him Mr. Mailman because he's a Mailman Dimitri. The Interplanetary Terror Cosmic Error is a new member of the Sack of Sin showcase. Sack of Sin.
Soccer shins?
I think I hurt myself. Sack of Sin talent roster. So go on there, check out the bands. If you're a promoter, if you're listening to this, and you said, I got this club and I can't get all these bands to play, motherfucker, text us, you call us. We got 12 bands right now. 12, a dozen.
I guarantee I can get at least one of them in there.
That's right. We can get somebody in there. Yeah, I got to go pick up my kid. So let's get out of here.
Make sure it's just your kid and not some random kid.
That's right.